in Walmart and
So I had a handful of
the waste in oh boy.
Hey friends, and welcome back to the Multifamily Review. I'm your host, Marcus Armstrong, and I am absolutely thrilled today because we are diving deep into something that's been reshaping how we connect, market, and build communities in the multifamily world, social media. Hear that? That's the sound of current and future residents scrolling right now. And guess what? Our team at J. Turner Research just dropped a brand new report, From Clicks to Keys, Social Media's Role in Apartment Searches. And let me tell you, the findings are game changers. Today, we're going to unpack some of the gold from this report, focusing on three crucial areas: understanding the unique generational dialects on social media, how to use these platforms to supercharge engagement with your current residents, and of course, how to turn those online clicks into actual keys for prospective renters. Let's kick things off with what the report calls a universal language with generational dialects. It's no surprise that nearly everyone is on social media daily. Our survey of over 1,000 current and prospective renters with an average age of 47 and a half confirmed this. We're talking about 90% of millennials and 89% of Generation Z using social media daily. But don't think it's just them, because even boomers and Gen X are heavily engaged, with boomers being at 73% and Generation X sitting at 82%. So for boomers, they tend to lean towards Facebook and YouTube, primarily staying connected and informed. Only 24% use social media for apartment hunting, and when they do, Facebook dominates. They value straightforward and factual content. Meanwhile, for Generation X, these folks show an increased reliance on social media for apartment searches, 42% as compared to boomers. They also favor Facebook and YouTube, but are more likely to incorporate using social media for their actual apartment search. Millennials, on the other hand, this group is all in. 61% rely on social media for finding an actual apartment. They expand beyond just Facebook and YouTube to visually driven platforms like Instagram, looking for lifestyle content and authentic resident experiences. Authenticity is huge for them. Generation Z, our newest wave of renters, like millennials, are also plugged into social media. 58% use social media for apartment hunting. Their digital fluency extends to TikTok, showing a preference for short-form video and interactive content. They expect a seamless, engaging digital presence. The big takeaway here: one-size-fits-all social media doesn't cut it. You've got to tailor your platform and your message. Across all generations, authenticity is king. Real photos, real videos, real transparency. That's what builds trust. Now let's shift gears. It's not just about attracting new residents. Social media is a powerhouse for connecting with your current residents and cultivating that all-important community feel. While younger generations like Generation Z and Millennials place a higher importance on a property's social media presence, the report highlights that a significant portion of all generations find some level of presence important, from 48% of boomers to a whopping 79% of Generation Z. But listen to this: the gap between wanting a presence and wanting a property to be very active, things like posting multiple times a day, for example, suggests that quality trumps quantity. What quality content should you be posting to your platforms? Well, if you follow me to page 17 of the report, we talk about it there. Maintenance matters. This was a top content preference across all generations, with 46% of total residents wanting to see maintenance updates on the social media platforms. This was especially emphasized by boomers in open-ended feedback. The report actually includes a pretty powerful quote: "Social media presence that updates on important maintenance issues is the single most important use of social media to me from rental properties." There's an idea that having some form of local lens, so sharing things like the neighborhood guides, recommendations, and local events, is pretty big. 56% of all residents want to see local events promoted. Interestingly, this desire for local info is even more profound amongst boomers, with 54% of them wanting that, and Generation X sitting at 56%. Finally, there's always room for posting events that are happening on site. Promoting resident events and activities fosters these connections. 45% of residents want to see community event information. And this aligns with Generation X being at 47% and millennials being around 48%. The key for current residents: proactive communication, transparency, and fostering a sense of belonging. These are not just buzzwords, they translate into resident satisfaction and ultimately retention. Finally, let's talk about the main event: attracting future residents, turning those clicks to keys. The report promotes that while high-quality visuals and neighborhood info are universally appealing, generational preferences dictate what truly resonates. Across the board, especially with Gen X, Millennials, and Generation Z, the call for authenticity was paramount. They want real, unedited photos and videos of actual units and common spaces, not just polished model shots. They want genuine resident testimonies. And speaking of visuals, high-quality photos and videos, especially virtual tours, are crucial. The importance scores are high. Millennials are at 70% for these, Generation Z at 64%. And they said that photos and videos were important to their actual apartment search. Even boomers, though less active in social media, prioritize these types of visuals. So again, while all groups like neighborhood info, millennials at 61% and Generation Z at 64% put a greater emphasis on understanding the community atmosphere and the vibe. Someone actually said in the open-ended feedback, I want to see the overall vibe of the property. Hear stories and stuff from residents that showcase what it is like to live there. Finally, affordability is absolutely universal. Generation Z, 47%, and millennials at 41% are particularly drawn to promotions and contests within social media. Does all this effort actually pay off? You bet. The report found that nearly 3/4 of every single generation indicated they contacted a community based on what they saw on the social media. Generation Z leads at 79%, Generation X at 78%, and actually boomers and millennials are both at 74%. Doesn't scream invest in your social media? I don't know what does. Look, so what's the big picture from Clicks to Keys report? Social media isn't just a marketing channel, it's a critical nexus for attracting prospects and a vital hub for resident engagement. Mastering those generational dialects, prioritizing authentic, high-quality visual content, and transforming your social media into a true community hub are no longer best practices. They're essential for a competitive edge. Want to dive deeper into these incredible findings? You can download the report directly from J. Turner Research at jturnerresearch.com/resources. That's all the time we have for today on the Multifamily Review. Thank you for tuning in. Keep innovating, keep connecting, and keep making multifamily amazing. We'll catch you on the next episode.